Welcome to Story Safari, a magical world of wonder and adventure. Today, let's explore the story of a young lazy boy. Once upon a time, there was a boy named Jaden. Jaden lived in a big, beautiful house. It was the kind of house that looked like it came straight out of a fairy tale, with tall towers and lush gardens. He had everything a boy could want. His room was filled with toys, games, and all sorts of gadgets. But Jaden had a secret. He was lazy. He loved to play and have fun, but when it came to work, he would always find a way to avoid it. Jaden never wanted to work. He would spend hours lounging on the couch or in his favorite armchair. He never wanted to clean his room. Toys and clothes would be scattered everywhere, but Jaden didn't care. He never wanted to help in the garden. The garden would become overgrown with weeds, but Jaden would just walk past it without a second glance. All he wanted to do was sleep, eat sweets, and play games. Jaden's parents were worried. They saw him wasting his days away and knew something had to change. "Jaden, you need to learn to work hard," said his father. "Hard work is important for your future." "You need to learn to be responsible," said his mother. "Responsibility is a key part of growing up." But Jaden didn't listen. He just wanted to play. He would run around the house, laughing and playing, without a care in the world. One day, Jaden's parents decided enough was enough. They had to do something drastic to teach him a lesson. "We're going to visit your aunt," they told him. "You will stay here and learn your lesson." Jaden was secretly happy. He thought he had tricked his parents and would have the whole house to himself. He had the whole house to himself. Or so he thought. Little did he know, his parents had a plan to teach him the value of hard work and responsibility. What Jaden didn't know was that someone was watching him from afar, hidden in the shadows. It was the sly king of bad feelings, who thrived on spreading misery and laziness. The king wanted everyone in the kingdom to feel lazy and sad, to drain their energy and joy. "This boy is perfect," the king chuckled to himself, his eyes gleaming with malice. "I'll make him the laziest boy in the land. He won't be able to resist my spell." The king snapped his fingers, and a cloud of thick, purple smoke appeared, swirling ominously. When the smoke cleared, a little imp stood before him, ready to carry out his master's wicked plan. "Go to Jaden," the king commanded with a sinister smile. "Make sure he never lifts a finger again." The imp nodded eagerly, its eyes gleaming with mischief, and flew off to fulfill the king's orders. The imp grinned, revealing sharp teeth that glinted in the dim light of the castle. He flew off towards Jaden's house, his tiny wings flapping furiously. Meanwhile, Jaden was having the time of his life, completely unaware of the impending danger. He ate cookies until his tummy hurt, savoring each bite with delight. He played games until his eyes were blurry, lost in the virtual worlds he loved so much. He didn't even bother to make his bed, leaving his room in a state of chaos. The imp watched from the shadows, biding his time, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. "The king will be pleased," he snickered to himself, already imagining the praise he would receive. But someone else was watching Jaden too. Hidden deep in the forest, a group of fairies had gathered. These were no ordinary fairies. These were the happiness fairies. They had magical powers to make people feel joy and contentment. "Oh dear," sighed the fairy of sunshine. "Look at that poor boy. He's surrounded by the king's bad energy." The fairy of laughter gasped. "We have to help him. But how?" The fairy of courage stepped forward. "We need to teach Jaden the value of hard work and honesty," she said. "We need to show him that true happiness comes from within." The other fairies nodded in agreement. But how could they get through to Jaden? He was so caught up in his lazy ways. The next morning, Jaden woke up feeling even lazier than usual. The imp had done his job well. Jaden stumbled outside, looking for something to eat. That's when he saw him. An old man was tending a beautiful garden. Flowers bloomed in every color of the rainbow. Bees buzzed happily among the blossoms. The air was filled with the sweet scent of honeysuckle and roses. "Wow," whispered Jaden. He had never seen anything so beautiful. "Hello," said the old man, smiling warmly. "Isn't it a lovely day for gardening?" Jaden hesitated. He didn't know anything about gardening. I guess so, he mumbled. The old man chuckled. Come, I'll show you, he said. He handed Jaden a small packet of seeds. They looked ordinary, but the old man's eyes twinkled with a secret. These are magic seeds, he explained, but they only grow with hard work and honesty. They need your care and dedication to reveal their true potential. Jaden was skeptical. Magic seeds? That sounded like a lot of work. He wondered if it was worth the effort. But there was something about the old man's kind eyes that made Jaden want to trust him. The sincerity in his voice and the warmth in his smile were convincing. He took the seeds and began to plant them. He carefully dug small holes in the soil and placed each seed with care. The old man showed him how to dig in the soil, how to water the seeds, and how to give them plenty of sunshine. He taught Jaden the importance of patience and consistency. As Jaden worked, he felt something strange happening. The garden seemed to come alive with a magical aura. He felt a spark of energy. He felt a sense of purpose. Each day, he looked forward to tending to his garden. He even felt happy? Jaden pushed these thoughts aside. Could it be the magic of the seeds? Or just the joy of hard work? It was probably just the sunshine. But deep down, Jaden knew that something special was happening in his garden and within himself. Days turned into weeks. Jaden continued to work in the garden. He watered the seeds. He pulled weeds. He even learned to love the feel of the warm earth on his hands. The old man was a patient teacher. He showed Jaden the importance of patience, perseverance, and honesty. Slowly but surely, the magic seeds began to sprout. Tiny green shoots pushed their way through the soil. Jaden watched in amazement. He had never grown anything before. As the plants grew, so did Jaden. He wasn't as lazy as he used to be. He started helping around the house. He even started doing his chores without being asked. Jaden's parents were astonished. They could hardly believe this was their son. The king of bad feelings was not happy. "What's happening?" he roared. "That boy is supposed to be lazy!" The imp cowered before him. I don't know, Your Highness," he stammered. "He's spending all his time with that gardener." The king's eyes narrowed. "A gardener, you say?" He had an idea. A terrible, horrible idea. "I'll put a stop to this," he snarled. And with another snap of his fingers, he disappeared in a puff of purple smoke. The next day, the old gardener was nowhere to be found. Jaden searched high and low, but the old man was gone. In his place was a note. "Beware the king's challenge," it read. Jaden's heart sank. He knew the king was behind this. Suddenly, Jaden heard a gentle voice. "Don't worry, Jaden," it said. Jaden looked around. Hovering before him was the Fairy of Courage. "The old gardener was a friend," she explained. "But the king has imprisoned him." "But I'm not strong enough to fight the king," cried Jaden. The Fairy of Courage smiled. "You are stronger than you think," she said. "The magic seeds have given you the power of hard work and honesty." She handed him a tiny shovel. "This will help you on your journey," she said. "Remember, Jaden, true strength comes from within." And with a flutter of her wings, she was gone. Jaden knew what he had to do. He set off on a journey to the king's castle, the tiny shovel clutched tightly in his hand. He faced many challenges along the way. He had to cross a river of laziness. He had to climb a mountain of procrastination. But Jaden didn't give up. He used the shovel to dig his way out of trouble. He used his newfound honesty to outsmart the king's tricks. And finally, he reached the castle. Jaden burst through the doors and confronted the king. "Let the old gardener go," he demanded. The king just laughed. "You can't defeat me," he boomed. But Jaden was no longer afraid. He knew the truth. He knew that hard work and honesty were more powerful than any magic. Jaden's courage and determination surprised the king. The king's power began to weaken. His laughter turned to coughs. His crown rolled off his head. With a final groan, the king disappeared. The castle vanished with him, revealing the old gardener standing where it once stood. He was free. Jaden learned a valuable lesson that day. He learned that laziness and dishonesty might seem easy at first, But true happiness and fulfillment come from hard work and honesty. And from that day forward, Jaden was no longer the lazy boy he once was. He was a changed boy, and he lived happily ever after. Remember, the magic of hard work and honesty lives inside all of us. All we have to do is choose to use it. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe the channel. Also share with your friends. If you're